In this video, I want to go back and complete my dealings with the 1888 debate of the General Conference of the Seventh-day Adventists, which has been called the righteousness by faith debate. I will present where the Seventh-day Adventists stand today, and in my next video, I will present what the Seventh-day Adventists will have to do to have any credibility in the Christian world anymore. In 1888 was a turning point for the Seventh-day Adventist organization. They had the opportunity to, in a Protestant standpoint, to get the gospel right of justification by faith only, not through obeying a bunch of laws, not through keeping some Sabbath command, but justification by faith alone. It was presented to them by two young scholars by the name of Wagner and A.T. Jones. And they were showing the Seventh-day Adventist leaders how wrong they were about the gospel of Jesus Christ from the book of Galatians. That it didn't involve keeping a bunch of laws, that it didn't involve some Sabbath command that didn't exist anymore. It involved justification by faith alone. And they tried to show them that, as I've been showing people, that the commandments in the New Covenant are a higher standard than those of the Old Covenant. But the Seventh-day Adventist organization rejected the truth of the gospel message. And because Wagner, Jones had tried to get them to see the truth, they exiled Ellen White to Australia and exiled Wagner himself and rejected the true gospel of Jesus Christ. Not only did they do that, but as I mentioned in my last video, A.T. Jones had shown them through the research that he had done how wrong they were on the 10 horns of Daniel chapter 7. And rather than accepting what he had found and showed them, their statement pretty much was, well, if we admit we made this error, how many other errors will the people think we made then? So they chose to continue telling a lie, knowing it's a lie. And a great schism took place in the 1888 debate when they totally rejected the gospel of Jesus Christ of righteousness by faith, and then continued to push the things off on Seventh-day Adventists that they have for over 150 years now. And here's the sad thing about all of this. It is really unclear as to what Ellen White's position was on this. It appeared that she was trying to stand with Jones and Wagner in presenting the truth about the gospel message. That way it appears anyway. But when you read chapter 7 of her book, Steps to Christ, it doesn't sound like that she actually understood the gospel even then. Or maybe she changed her mind after 1888, I'm not sure. And here's why. Because the White Estate has hidden thousands of documents relating to 1888 and have not allowed people to see those documents and what Ellen White actually said then. There are some they've had to release because there are honest members in the Seventh-day Adventist organization who wanted to know the truth about 1888 that had been hidden for years from them. In fact, they had one of their presidents, I believe his name was Daniel, who had tried to get several people to write books. One of them was a man by the name of Fromm, and further confused what happened in 1888 debate by telling more fabrications in it, and really obscuring the history of what actually happened in 1888. And the bottom line is this. They rejected the gospel of Jesus Christ, chose to continue believing a lie about the 10 horns of Daniel chapter 7, and marched right on as though nothing had ever happened, hiding this from their members. And even to the point of trying to change the history and concealing the writings of Ellen White, which may have cleared up what happened in 1888 for present-day Seventh-day Adventists. And that's one of the problems with the present Seventh-day Adventists. They're still wanting to know the truth about that, and apparently it's been so screwed up by the Seventh-day Adventist General Conference in the White Estates now that they may never find the truth. And there are even those Seventh-day Adventists who apparently do not want to go back and find the truth. I guess they're so afraid that they're going to find out that they've been duped by their organization that they believed in, and they just, are afraid to actually go back and have sunlight shed on their lies. And the reason I know that is for some 2 years now, they've been coming to my videos asking, where do you get this from? Or Ellen White never said this. And it's coming right out of their works. That shows me clearly that they haven't even read a lot of this material to really know. Whether they're afraid to see truth, whether they're afraid to see where their own conference and Ellen and the White Estates have lied to them and committed fraud and hidden things from them. Who knows why they won't go look at truth. This same thing happened, or something close to it happened in 1980 at the Sanctuary Doctrine Review that was held in Glacier View, Colorado, where one of their noted scholars then, Desmond Ford, tried to show them the error of their interpretation of Daniel 8:14 and how he tried to present the gospel of righteousness by faith himself to them. And they fired Desmond Ford for actually bringing the truth to them. And when they fired Desmond Ford, over 100 pastors left the Seventh-day Adventist Conference because they knew that Desmond Ford was right and how they had misinterpreted the Bible so much. And not only that, but several million members left in 1980. Again, because the General Conference would hide and lie to their members and not tell them the truth about it. And when Desmond Ford tried to show them the truth, they fired him. Excuse me. So the bottom line is this: in 1888 and 1980, by rejecting the truth of the gospel and refusing to listen to truth from their own members who had studied this stuff for years and chose to stay with a lie about the interpretation of the Scripture, and especially righteousness by faith, they have, to me, as far as I'm concerned, have sealed their own tomb. Probably within this decade sometime, the Seventh-day Adventist organization as we know it now will cease to exist unless they change the gospel message and they begin telling their members the truth and encouraging their members to go see the truth and apologize to them for having deceived them and lied to them for so many years now. The bottom line is the Seventh-day Adventist organization as we know it today is irrelevant. Their churches are closing. I know they're closing out west. I can't say anything about the east because I hadn't been that way in years now. But I know that they have churches closing out west because nobody's attending their Seventh-day Adventist churches anymore. That's just the bottom line. I think within this decade, unless the Seventh-day Adventists tell their members the truth and change their gospel message, that as an organization that we know as the Seventh-day Adventists will cease to exist. That is where they stand today. Either they change their gospel message, or as far as I'm concerned, they will cease to exist because they're already totally irrelevant in the Christian world. I was talking to a Hebrew and Greek scholar, not a Greek scholar, but a Hebrew and Old Testament scholar the other day about some of the same thing. And his point blank comment to me was this: Seventh-day Adventist scholars are not accepted in the academic community. It's just a joke. Their interpretation of the Bible and things they present is just a joke in the academic community. Now this is a real Old Testament scholar, by the way, and a real Hebrew scholar, not some Seventh-day Adventist scholar. So that's where they stand today. They stand in shambles. That's pretty much what it is. And they have these people on YouTube trying their best to keep these lies going rather than even looking for the truth themselves. It's sad to say that they would have duped that many people, but that's where the Seventh-day Adventist organization stands. They rejected the gospel in 1888. They rejected it in 1980, and now they stand in a position where I feel within this decade they will cease to exist as an organization. And pretty much in the Christian world today, they're just simply totally irrelevant. Until next time, this has been Golly saying, God bless.